going to give a lot of the credit to Chief Feinberg for actually drafting. You know, his letter really hit all the details in reference to the kite surfing down there. I look at it like this, like any outside activity that we deal with, boating, scuba diving, bicycling, rollerblading. I put this in the same category. We just need to educate ourselves about the sport and maybe come up with some regulations that works for the town and make sure the town is covered, you know, liability-wise, and also to make sure that we're covered in how to respond to the individuals that may be in trouble out in the water. So I think it's just about educating us, the police department, the fire department, and working with the kite surfers and about their sport, and just come up with some basic rules that works for the town and works for the kite surfers. And I don't think it's really taxing our system in reference to responding down there. But, you know, we do respond down there out of, people may call and they not understand the sport. Just because you see a kite surfer out there in the water, he may be resting. He's not in trouble. We've learned that over the last several years. So I think we should allow it to happen. It's happening in other towns, and we just need to come up with some regulation with the kite surfing community so it works for the town. I think where they're operating on the Doggy Beach side, as we know it, according to Chief Feinberg, who did some research on it, it's the safest place for the town of Nahant to go out and make these rescues if we had to. And I also feel that, you know, where we are surrounded by water, I think that we should be trained for the worst and hope for the best. That's how I look at things, and just like anything we do in town. So,
all right, thanks, Chief. Okay. Thanks, Bob. Yep. Chief.
So, as Chief Dwyer said, I looked at some of the statistics of this past year and the calls that we've gone on, and the majority of the water rescue calls that we've had have involved boaters and not the kite surfers. We've had one instance where a kite was down in the water that somebody, a concerned citizen had called. We had actually received prior notice from the kite surfing community that a kite had been let loose. We were able from shore to make confirmation that we were talking about the same kite, and we didn't have to put people at risk going out into the water. The other incident is the one that you've been talking about that occurred on Doggy Beach, and that person was brought into shore. We did not need to effect a rescue out onto the water. Chief Dwyer mentioned it. For our resources, the safest place for us to be able to effect a rescue is Doggy Beach, because if there is an issue, they're brought into shore. Whereas on the Long Beach or Short Beach side, they're going to be taken out to sea.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Thanks.
Right.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Comments? T?
I'm in favor of the kite surfing being at Doggy Beach. I went by the other day and I came down over, there were 8 people kite surfing in the correct spot, probably 200-300 yards away from the rocks towards Little Nahant. They were having a blast, and I think we should allow it.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I move we authorize kiteboarding at Doggy Beach and have the kite boarders meet with the fire chief or police chief or somebody designate one of their officers to set up some rules and regulations and restrictions, whatever it is. I was down the other day and there was about 20 of them out there, and it was great. Good, you know, it's young people and having a fun. And I think why not? I mean, I don't think we should restrict them to one side or the other side. I think it's because they've got to park and carry all that gear. So I have no restrictions. Just maybe whatever the fire chief and police chief come up with some restrictions. I so move that. You were a second?
I'll second.
Yeah, I just want to make, you'll second it?
For discussion.
For discussion. I agree. I mean, I think that they're, I think Dylan has done a great job down there, and Bob and Mr. Gilbert, and, you know, they all take care of the place, and as long as, you know, I just wanted input from the 2 chiefs to see how they felt about it, what they could do, and, you know, and I trust Dylan's going to work with them anyway, so.
Sure, yeah.
And all these guys will work together, so. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so move.
Right, you probably, I was out there, you know. I had a big board, way out. I was on the reverse side, you know. Congratulations, I think you guys, thanks for all your input and your correspondence. It was very well written.
Yeah.
And, it made me a believer in the kite, you know, so it was good. And especially you got the two chiefs backing you, so I think it was a great victory for you and for the kiteboarders, you know, that's all. I just hope no one gets hurt, that's all, with the rocks, but I don't want you to, I don't want to restrict you. I was, you know, the restrictions at the end of the beach, now they gotta walk way down, there's no place to park, so I think leave it alone, just let it go. That's all right, you can work with the chiefs and some of your signs or whatever you want to do, that would be fine, that's all right, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good that it came to this, because it got everybody talking about it and how you guys can make regulations and whatever, you know, whatever you have to do to keep it safe. So, thanks for coming.
Thank
Thank you.
Actually, if I could just say one word.
you. Sure, yeah.
I appreciate it, guys, and,
Dylan,
Mike?
you come up to the microphone.
sorry, I do appreciate your time that you spent on this, and one thing I can say is that, you know, this has helped. This has helped remind people, this week particularly, it was very nice to see everybody operating as they should. It's really helped improve safety there. We'll keep going, and we intend to keep going at it. So thanks very much.
Terrific.
All right, thanks. Okay,
Fire station assessment.
fire station assessment. That's next on the agenda?
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Chief Feinberg?
Well, Chief's here to answer any questions, but Enzo, you'd asked that to be put onto the agenda, and
My only concern is, we have a new engine coming in soon, and I don't want it, you can't leave it outside. It's not gonna serve it well, so, and I don't think by the time town meeting comes around, I mean, it's been a couple of years, I think we need to get something there so that we can house this engine, so it doesn't get, you know, ruined. And whether it's something small, I mean, inexpensive, just to house the thing in a cement block area with a roof over it, so you know, it's warm and it's out of the weather. So I think we need to come up with a short-term plan just to get that done, if that's okay, because I don't think, honestly, I think that, you know, the plans that have been thrown around, you know, one was very expensive,
Oh, yes.
and, you know, there's just a bunch of things going on, so I think we need to have some kind of a plan.
yeah, we have the fire chief and then the chairman of the committee here tonight, and so they plan on coming to our next meeting, and they were going to be here a month ago, but they wanted to give themselves a little more time, so they are ready to come forward with a recommendation.
Okay, good.
I'd like to see a recommendation, that building is, you know, it was built in 1940.
Barracks.
Yeah, it was a barracks, and I think you need to look at, you know, the whole setup of that whole building, and if you're gonna do it, let's do it right. I'm for one day, you know, it might cost us a few more shillings, but the building will be set right, because right behind that, once we get that building, we gotta do the public works too. And I don't see us moving anywhere down there, you know, way on the other side of the public works and infringing on the school property. So I think, you know, if you're gonna do this and not only make room for the new engine, but set it up, use either side, you know, of the, whatever you're an architect, but I'd spend the money. I think the people would, you know, the town would vote to fund, okay, because we've let things go. We know we need a new fire station, okay, and we know down the line, we need a new public works building, because that's deteriorating. And we also need a new police station, because the police station is in terrible shape. I mean, that was, you know, we used to hold court upstairs with Charlie Kelly, you know, courtroom up there. But seriously, I think if we're gonna get this fire, and this is the initiative, to get the fire engine stored in place, you need to take the, you know, the quarters and look at it, and the bathrooms, the showers, the bunk room, I mean, make it comfortable and make it nice. I mean, that's my, I'd fight for that, you know, so you gotta spend some money, because the next, we know we got a next three, you know, next two, so that's my say on that. But I would definitely get it ready, and then we can have it on tap, and we put the article in. We got, the end of January by the time the articles, but if you're not ready for it, we could save you space so that we are ready for the April town meeting. I think, and you should, you know what I mean, because you've got pretty much of it, a lot of it done, and you get the vote, so then we'll see you next week, 2 weeks, whatever it is, yeah. And I think it'll be good. I'd have it written up exactly the way you want to put the article in the warrant. So there's no, so you know, so you have no, there's no misunderstanding exactly what we want to do.
Have you guys talked?
May I?
Oh, I'm sorry, T, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, I think what Enzo, I agree with what Enzo's saying too. If we could get a short term for the new fire engine, but also I'm in favor of, you know, doing what Richie said.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure you've looked into it. It's not that you haven't.
Is the whole committee, you guys meet on a regular basis, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, we'll be meeting once or twice more before we come to the plan on December 7th for you guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Okay, so, short term, we just put something up for, just to keep that thing out
Winter
of the...
parking ban?
All right, winter parking ban is next. So, Richie had made some changes, and T and I think, on the winter parking ban, and if you want, I can read it. The town of Nahant has a winter parking policy stating that all vehicles must be parked off the street during the hours of midnight to 6 a.m. from December 21st to March 20th. If you are a resident of Nahant and do not have adequate off-street parking, you may pick up a parking waiver application at the Nahant Police Station. Once the application is submitted and reviewed, you will be notified upon its approval. A $30 non-refundable application fee is required in order to process each request for a parking waiver. This fee must be paid by check or money order only and made payable to the town of Nahant prior to review of the application. Cash will not be accepted. All vehicles at the residence must be registered to that address. If there are two off-street parking spaces, if there are two off-street parking spaces, but there are 3 vehicles at the residence, all 3 must be registered to that address in order to qualify for one waiver permit needed for on-street parking. Commercial or leased vehicles must have the operator leaser residing at that address. Persons applying for a parking waiver must get off-street parking when it snows. In other words, get off the street if it's going to snow out, or when a snow emergency has been declared due to a forecasted snow or ice storm. So that was one of the corrections, was snow or ice. And it's important that they know that, you know, just because they have a parking waiver doesn't mean they can park in the street during a snowstorm. They have to get off the street. All right, do you want to, you can take over, okay. That's okay. All right.
Sometimes when you park, it's a fine line, you know.
Right.
It's 39 degrees out, and all of a sudden they're flash freeze.
Right.
And these vehicles that have the permits are on the street. It's one of those, it's a tough situation, it's a tough
Right.
call for us, and it's a tough call for the residents.
Well, I think that's more of a common sense type thing. And your guys are, you know, they're not gonna tag or tow somebody
That's
for
not,
that.
I understand, there's a lot of common sense that goes along with this process.
Right. Okay, any vehicle left on the street during a snowstorm, whether a declared snow emergency or not, will be subject to a fine or for impeding snow removal, which is $50. In addition, the registered owner will also be subject to a towing charge when the vehicle is removed from the street. Violators such as an impeding snow removal will result in a review and possible revocation of the parking waiver. All 3 town departments, police, fire, and public works, must approve the parking location selected by the applicant. Should any of these department heads reject the location selected, the application will be returned to the applicant so they can find a suitable area to park. And that's from Bob Dwyer, the chief of police. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I just added the ice part,
Yes.
because a lot of times the public works, the cars are blocked, and they don't wanna put salt in this guy's, front seat.
Exactly.
Question?
I like T's idea about a flashing blue light, and I'm thinking, we've got mild temperatures, and we'd vote in the snow emergency, snow parking, December 21st.
We've been doing that for my whole
If
career.
I'd like to find out if we could somehow, that's Christmas week coming in, you know what I mean?
We handle that.
No, I know you do, but I'm just thinking some people, there's a lot of people in Bass Point and Little Nahant where things are very tight. I think there's some way if we
work with them.
if we really don't need this, the snow emergency put into effect, until we turn the light on or something like that. And then it flashes, and then so people know it's a snow, but they could leave them in the street, because, it's all this money buying off-street parking stickers and things. I'm just saying, it's like very, I don't know, I don't know what else. I just suggest, a lot of people, they're elderly, and they still drive, but they have no parking, no driveway or garage, and they have to leave the car right out in front of the house. And then if a snow emergency comes, unless they have a sticker, I just think we should review this. I got a feeling, my feeling is, we just nickel and dime the public,
I don't feel that way. I think we have a lot of common sense in what we do. I think we work with the residents very well in reference to maybe somebody that fell asleep at the switch and getting their vehicle off the street. We make a serious attempt in order to get the vehicle moved. We've
Oh, I know you do, yeah.
moved vehicles for residents to put them in their driveways. I think the system we have in place works.
Yeah.
I think it would be taxing on the police department to change it, to go on either side, to say, well, I fell asleep, and now instead of dealing with maybe 3 cars out there, or 3 vehicles, we're dealing with 20 or 30 at 2 o'clock in the morning. This way here, the rule's set, it's fast and hard. At 12 a.m., your car's off the street unless you got a parking waiver. At 6 a.m., you can go back on the street, unless it's a snowstorm during the day. I think we work very well with the residents over here with this policy. It's been here as long as I've been here. We were really a lot more stricter until we come up with this waiver. We never had a waiver situation until Billy Waters and Mark Cullinan put it in place, and I don't remember exactly what year it was.
It was my suggestion, I put that.
And it works, and that way there, it gives us the information, it gives us telephone numbers, contact people, so we can get on a phone and have a vehicle moved. The system works, we monitor it. The officers, through the holiday weekend, unless we get a snowstorm, we give the people a break. We know they get, family coming over.
I want to make sure, because the kids are coming home for the holidays, and they're usually, they've got extra cars out in the street, and it's, the college kids, and
We've been doing this a long time, Rich, and the officers are very well versed in it.
Question?
Yeah.
Question?
Mr. Taylor?
Thank you. These college kids that get together, it happened to my kids a few times.
Yeah.
They go in at someone's house.
Yeah.
They're not smart enough to call the police. What I'm getting at is they should probably call the police, because they are out there till 2 in the morning. I know they are.
Yeah, simple.
And
Just
they
call-
come out and they have parking tickets at 2 in the morning, and they come to me and it's like, geez, Dad, blah, 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 blah. I said, well, you should have called.
Right.
If you call,
Exactly.
how many times have we called the police? Hundreds, and everything's fine.
Everything's fine. That way they would notice, at least we can have that conversation, interaction to say why it's out there. It's a family member, something's going on. There's been medical issues with families over here, whatever it may be. And we're very, very flexible with that. We understand it. But I think the hard and fast rule is if we deviate from this, it's going to make it a nightmare for us trying to chase people down at 3 in the morning, when all of a sudden we get blasted with this snowstorm. Because let's face it, we are surrounded by the news media. We're contacted 24/7. We got emails. We got the news never stops. But however, we still get the residents out there. I didn't know it was going to snow. I haven't watched the news in 3 days. I've been busy. So I just think this is a hard and fast rule, and we work with the residents that have some complexities or some issues. a phone call, and the residents have been around here for a long time, they know how the system works.
Right.
And we work with the residents, and we're very fair. The officers are very fair, they listen to them, and if we can help them out, we help them out.
Okay.
Oh, no,
Thank you.
You and your police team, you put the warnings the week before on the cars and the windows and everything else, and I know the firemen go around, check the areas, with a ladder truck to make sure they can make the corners, especially in Bass Point and Little Nahat, where they can clearly make the swings, some of those tight streets. Okay, that's fine. I just,
Okay.
sometimes,
Just use a judgment,
Oh, yeah, we're very good.
I'm confident in that, so, all right.
Thank you.
Mr.
All right,
Chairman.
thank you.
Thanks.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we implement the winter parking ban on December 21st, 2017 through March 20th, 2018, from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. during the winter months. I so move that, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Okay, second for discussion, seeing and hearing none, we already discussed
We
it.
already discussed this.
we're all
I
set
thought it
with
was
that.
all set, but we need to
Yeah,
vote.
yeah, we do.
We didn't vote last time?
No.
Okay.
We tabled it till tonight. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay, motion carries. Okay, the trash collection communication, new web complaint email.
Good?
Thank you.
Good, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for
Have a good
taking the
one.
time and
Thanks,
coming up. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chief.
So on the waste management trash collection, at the last time we had waste management in to talk with us, you had requested that we look at different communication mechanisms. One of the mechanisms that waste management uses in other communities, and we've implemented now, is a direct email that you can go onto the web page, and under trash, you can click on it, and it gives you a email format that you see here. And what that does is it makes an automatic connection to key people within waste management, DPW, and the administration. And so that information is sent immediately, it goes onto our cell phones, and therefore we have immediate response.
Okay.
So this is an attempt to try to move greater communications in that direction.
Very good. This is
That's
very
good,
good.
because I mean, we need something like that in place, because I gotta tell you, there was a lot of complaints. Have you had any complaints the past couple of weeks?
We've had a couple, but they've been resolved right away.
Okay. All right.
So if we can get people to use this, if you go on the web page and go under trash collection recycling, you'll see the button you have to hit that, and it'll give you the template.
Okay.
And again, it's an immediate connection to waste management.
Okay,
Beautiful.
that's fine. As long as the people are satisfied, they're the ones that are paying for trash. We all do, and it's not cheap, and I think they deserve the opportunity to say something if their trash isn't picked up.
Yep.
Okay.
I like,
Go ahead, Richie.
no, this is great. This is something in the new initiative. But some of the seniors, they don't have computers. So you need a telephone number for where they can pick up a phone call and call someone.
So
Is that the police?
Well, if you go on to the same, well, you're right, you're on web page
They
there.
don't, there's a lot
Yeah,
of people,
exactly.
they don't have computers, and,
Yeah.
but
So,
we have a telephone number we can call?
yeah, typically, everybody calls the police because they're used to that. And so the police will then either put in the email or call directly.
All right, well, I'd like to have that added to the operation.
Okay.
You need to have someone, the police are 24/7, they're there,
Mm-hmm.
and then they can either send a message to somebody, whoever you have to give them communications to send so that it gets corrected.
Correct. So for the public's perspective, as you're saying, they should call the police department if they don't have another number. If you can go on to the webpage has these options plus telephone numbers.
Well, I just get that out on in the public domain. Either, call, if you don't have a computer, or you can't go on the webpage or whatever, call the police and they will fix your problem.
Yeah.
What we can do is we can scroll it on the cable TV, because I think that'll be a good message
That's probably
opportunity.
the
So
best way to do it.
let us scroll that.
Okay. All right.
I'd still have someone check,
Okay.
someone from the Public Works that goes around and checking, following people, makes sure, they're picking up, and the next couple of weeks, they're not making a mess of the street, throwing the barrels, or breaking stuff, and
Yeah, between,
Especially where they have to pay for the new recycle bins. You know, if they break it, we should pay for that.
and they have been, and they've been very responsive.
Okay,
Okay,
very good.
okay. Town Administrator's report.
We just have one event request, and that's the Johnson School Holiday Concert, which is coming up on 12/20, and you have a motion for that.
I move the Board of Selectmen vote to approve the event request by Johnson School for Holiday Concert, 12/20/2017, Town Hall at 7 p.m.
Second.
Okay,
It's a great
It is a great-
discussion, it's a great take.
it is. We were here, and it's actually nice that they do it at the Town Hall now.
Yes.
It is.
Because the stage is perfect, people come out, and it's a lot of fun. I went last year. T was there.
Yep. Your wife was there.
It was quite eventful, yeah, it was quite eventful, so.
It was quite eventful, remember?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
But the
that.
kids looked great.
Yeah, they did. So, okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, old business. None.
None. I have none.
You have anything?
I have none.
Okay. Richie? No. Nothing? Okay. New business, the Attorney General's office.
That's 5.
Okay, this letter is in response from, I don't think we need to read this. How are we making out with that, Jeff?
So we're in full compliance. Council has spoken with the Attorney General's office, and she is satisfied. We have offered to send her all the material. She said she doesn't need it. So they've communicated, and everything is as it should be.
So the master plan committee convened and filled out the stuff?
The minutes are filed with the town clerk. And,
Okay.
and again, we offered them to the Attorney General's office, and she said she didn't want them.
Okay.
Okay?
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I think you put them in the
We
folder.
should do maybe the announcements before we go into the executive session.
Yeah. Actually, there is one announcement I don't see here. Aren't they having a golf? The glow ball, was that last?
No, that's tomorrow night, Friday
Tomorrow
night
night.
down there for the firemen, I believe.
Yes.
they're doing it. For some reason, I just remember, how much got Boney.
Yeah, it's the Fireman Glow Ball
Fundraiser.
fundraiser down at the golf club tomorrow night, so that wasn't on the closing announcement. I just want to make sure that,
It's a fun time. I mean, you go around, bring a flashlight with you or something.
okay. Okay, Veterans Day.
Veterans Day.
Town Hall is going to be closed on Friday, November 10th, 2017, and the Selectmen meeting, November 16th, 2017, is canceled. And I think that's it for closing announcements. I think we talked about...
On Veterans Day?
Yeah.
They had a couple things.
Okay.
Is it possible we could put the American flags up, Jeff?
Oh, sure.
Brown tag for the Veterans Day? And also, the American Legion, Post 215, usually, and they always do, is go to the cemetery, the main cemetery at, I'd say around 10:45, because the ceremony starts at 11 o'clock. It's the 11th day, 11th hour, when the arms were signed, so, and they do a great job, and I wish people show up to support them, especially on Veterans Day. And then they make the same ceremony down at Veteran Park, and then they go have a little, some chowder and hot dogs over at the Coast Guard. But Veterans Day, I think and this year, especially with what's going on in the world, we need to, step up a little bit, and we put the American flags around the town. I know it's a inconvenience for the public works, and they can put them up and take them right down, just to honor that, veteran. If it's bad weather, I would not do it. If it's rain coming in, high winds, I would not do it. I'd make the superintendent make a decision on that.
Yeah, so far it looks good, so.
No, but if it doesn't, I wouldn't, don't wanna ruin those flags, but it's 3 days a year, those American flags go up, Memorial Day, 4th of July, and then, Veterans Day.
Good call, Richie.
And as another added opportunity, the Johnson School on Friday
Yes, yes.
has an event from 10:45 to noon, and that's a wonderful event. It's a music event, and the veterans are there, and it's it's something that if you can attend, please attend. It's great.
So it's a good, they honor veterans over there. And
Good for Johnson School, good.
Peggy Silva started that 20 years ago. She does a great job. And they follow, you know, the new principal and the superintendent, they follow, and it's continued, and that's excellent.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, I move the Board of Selectmen vote to go in executive session for the purpose of discussing contract strategy and not to return to open session. I so move that, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We're going to go into executive session now, not to return to open session. This meeting is adjourned.